daringly, because we haven't done it for many years. Oh, wow, golly. Which composer? Tell me. This is under the general title of Going into Europe, the kind of cultural musts that we have to accept these days. I'm here from the Allgemeine Musikschule in Bonn, and we are going to give you one of the rare pieces of Schubert. Schubert wrote this when he was ill. Based on a poem by Eichendorff, The Girl and the Halibut. The girl is wandering through the countryside, fairly near the sea, and she sees a halibut. And she says, I'm hungry, I want to eat the halibut. The halibut answers, don't do this, please. Because if you do this, you will be ill. Like Schubert. And the girl doesn't listen. She eats the halibut and she's ill.
Ein Fräulein auf der Meer, ein Heilboot in das Meer. Und sagt, ich hab Hunger, ich will dir fressen, jawohl. Ich will dir fressen, jawohl. Da sagt der Heilboot, ja. Oh Gott, nein, 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 fresse mich doch nicht. Ja, werd ich dich fressen, das Mädchen da erscheinet. Ich will dir fressen, ja, das Mädchen erscheint. Dann kam das Mädchen, ja, und fraß den Heilboot von den Meeren, den Heilboot von der Meer. Sie hatte ein schlechtes Bauch, der Heilboot war in ihr. Der Heilboot war in ihr.
On Mastermind recently, we had a question about the nickname that your father enjoyed when he was a Secret Service mole at the German embassy. I think it was Dumpkopf or something like that. But as a result of that, I've had a letter which reproaches me for being a foreigner in Britain who had absorbed the British inability to pronounce foreign names correctly. However, better than Ustinov, he says, who can't even pronounce his own name properly. I'd like to ask, Sir Robin, is that actionable?
I can't make a bow tie of it.
Is that actionable? And secondly, which subject would you choose as a specialized subject in Mastermind?
Oh, God. I don't know. Iceland, I think. To make you feel at home.
bad.
Not bad. They've got a great sense of humour. There was their Nobel Prize-winning author, Haldar Laxness, who was driving from his farm in a jeep at the age of 66, I think he was, when he was driven off the road by a truck. And he ended upside down in a ditch, still at the wheel of his car. And when the truck driver ran over to him upside down, he said upside down, "And is there anything else I can do for you?" You wanted to say something.
I remember a delightful character who was a dresser of yours in Brighton.
A dresser who was very, very old. He was 88 or something, and he was terribly nimble, and you couldn't hear what he said half the time, but he said, "I'm one of the constables of Gloucester." I thought he meant he was a policeman. Apparently that's a famous tribe of jockeys. And he said, "I was 6'8" when I was 21 years of age. How heavy do you think I am now? I said, "I have absolutely no idea." 6'8". That's funny, isn't it? And it was the first night. I'd never appeared in that play before. It was opened in Brighton. And I had a little transistor radio with me, which was probably a Volv radio in those days. And just before I was going on the stage, I left it on. Just before I went on the stage, he stopped me. And he said, "May I ask you a question, sir?" I said, "Yes, but hurry, because I can hear my cue." On the first night, it's really quite agitating. He said, "In your long career, sir, have you ever had anything to do with mules?" I said, "No, I've never had anything to do with mules." He said, "It's a great pity if you don't mind my saying so. It's a lovely animal. Christian as a dog if you treat it proper." Then I had to go on the stage. And I came off, and the music had changed. They were now playing Elgar's Second Symphony, which is a very Edwardian and fruity piece of music. The full orchestra employed nearly all the time, and he was listening to it, and he suddenly looked up and said, "Oh, you're back here. Piccolo, that's a fast instrument, isn't it?" And he had a tragic circumstance at home because he said his wife wasn't talking to him anymore. It's very alarming when the people at 80 don't talk to each other. Well, you know, it was during the war, near the end of the war. And I don't know what it was. I fancied I heard a buzz bomb. And I threw myself on my wife in the street. And she never forgave me because... There wasn't no bomb. And I could never explain it to her. It's a very sad story, I think. Very sad.
Years and years ago, I was in Hamburg and knew people at the Hamburg Opera at a time when you just directed The Magic Flute out there. And after you left, the production obviously changed and developed a bit in its own ways. I wonder what you feel about actors and singers ad-libbing and adjusting the production, and have you ever been guilty of doing this?
Oh, yeah, when the director left, yes. When I was the director myself, rarely. But Hamburg had a special character. Every time anything went wrong in Hamburg, you knew who it was, and you looked into the wings, and you didn't even have to see the man. He came out sheepishly and said, with a very strong Austrian accent, "It was my fault again." And he said to him, I can't remember what his name was now, but I said, "Again you?" He said, "Yes, you know, this is a temple of German efficiency, and I'm Austrian, and they keep me on because I humanize them." So, but however efficient you are in opera, things always can go wrong. In other words, you have to rehearse everything. Because one day in Siegfried, one of the pallbearers was taken ill. And as all the extras were leaving, the man in charge of them said, "Hep, don't go home." "Why, I'm not on tonight." "You are on. Stresebach is ill." "So, you will